Salve, friend. That's good. Well, we've all... Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from... There was a terrible fire in Rome. Oh, all right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No.
That's the...
Thank you.
It's too late for that. If I backed out now... What? I just wish there was some way I could Scintilla... Nothing. Alright, I wasn't, and that's when I just, and then, and from the, and we'd hop, and all I... I don't know what I have to say. My guess, I have no idea where I've never but I have... Oh, I see. I'll go and take care of things with... Shalom. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least, everywhere I could get to. There are still two places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the Cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper Cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose. All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
Salve. A new face. Ave, and may vest. Oh my. That is. Let's see. If that is indeed the case, we don't have much to go on. Except Hercules, the Hercules, Sis, and so it's. May 4th.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Don't you just love springtime?
Hello. My friend Harry's, he gave all I... No. Bye-bye.
Salve. Oh, and now. All right, friend.
A fellow trav. Greetings. I'm Georgie. I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash. Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
Interesting.
The offering, it is symbolic, you see. It is never eaten. So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw? Nothing. Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again. I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
Oh, right.
Hey, my friend! Have you discovered... Ah! And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina, I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out.
Bitch!
After a while, I give up. And I
Fucking
become
hurt my
Georgios the
fucking
Roman.
ankle!
Except the world is Romana. Plus, I have no hair left.
Ow!
But my point is this. If you want to know
Oh.
who stole an old Greek
don't give a
name,
fuck.
look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered
The
from a
hell?
collection
My
of old
freaking
Greek
ankle
relics by
hurt.
none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter. I hope that our paths cross again soon.
Hello? Hello? Do you like it? It's shiny, innit? It makes me happy just looking at it. But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it. But it's mine. Well, if you get me out of here, then I wouldn't need it anymore because I... Like, Galerius? Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have my plaque and everyone will be... Bye-bye.
I need it.
Come and join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name? It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here? Ah, Kabash. I know this man. He came through here some weeks ago. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I've been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule? Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue? Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong? And to what extent? In every situation? You sound confident, but I must ask, has your confidence not waned upon finding yourself in this place? Knowing that your moral errors will result in the deaths of yourself and everyone around you, how confident are you now?
Where the fuck did he go? Oh.
Interesting. I'm reminded of something Socrates once said. To paraphrase, better to know that you know nothing than to know nothing and think that you know. It is because knowledgeable people have learned enough to know they know very little, in the broader scheme of things. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong.
What?
Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing? Let me guess. Is it yours? And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument. My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all. I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions. You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription. It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you if Kebab... I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temple. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own. Thus, the shrine of Persephone became the shrine of... And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, and the city's dwindling Greek residents witnessing this compulsive... They gathered their art and valuables. However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, an even older plaque. We had no idea until years. As a result of their deaths, we extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, And even suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought that, but it turns out this game has been going on. I think it is best you head through the catacombs. I assure you, it is not. Take this key. I enjoyed our... Good to see you again. You mean, how did I was a quarrelsome young man. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with... It became heated. He drew a gladius. And I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return. But even with... I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me. They are one and the same. The Rome... My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends, I think it's safest to... I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive. I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12, some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Living in darkness is not without its... And sometimes, the greater challenge is, like so many things, as you wish. Ha! If I did. Did we not discuss it at length already? Oh, I see. I enjoyed our chat.